What's going on, Pokemon Masters? PokemonTripHD, we're back today with some Wi-Fi battles, and this is actually a post-com Wi-Fi battle. I've had this battle a while ago, probably like, I don't know, 5 days ago, 6 days ago, up against a good friend of mine, Andy, aka Dench. And I'll leave Dench's YouTube channel and down in the description below. He's getting capture cartoons, so that's amazing. Dench is a really good friend of mine, and we decided to have an OU Wi-Fi battle, as you can see. And it was actually an amazing Wi-Fi battle. It was absolutely amazing. And I actually don't even think he knows that I'm recording this, so we're posting this. So he thought that it was just for fun. But it was actually an amazing battle. I didn't think he was actually going to be as good of a battler as he is. And don't be worried, these post-com Wi-Fi battles won't be happening too often. It's only going to happen if I get a really good competitive Wi-Fi battle that's not being live recorded. Then I'll probably do a post-com on it like I'm doing right now. And so we're just going to get right into the actual battle. So as you can see by the team preview, we both have really good teams, and we both are bringing Pokemon that's not in OU. Mine is Entei, his is Shuckle. That wasn't planned though, it was supposed to be just flat out OU, but of course you can always bring lower tier Pokemon, they just don't do as well sometimes, debatable, whatever. So let's go over my team. So my team, we have Superior, it is a wide lens Superior, so we do not miss a Leaf Storm. Up next we have Keldeo, which is a Choice Scarfed Keldeo. Timid Choice Scarf, so we can just, it's a Scarfer, it's really good, it's fast. Then we have Sylveon, which is Specs, and it has HP Ground, so it can catch some people off guard, especially that Heatran. Then we have Entei, Banded, Flare Blitz, it's a lot of fun. I also run Iron Head and Stone Edge on it because why not? And then we have a bulky Zapdos with leftovers and has Defog and Roost, Toxic, and Volt Switch, so it's not too bad. Then we have Mega Altaria, which is just Roost, Dragon Dance, Earthquake, and Return. Really just basic Altaria set right there. And this is a decent team. It's not a bad team at all. They fit well together in my opinion, with a bulky core. It's not really bulky core, but Zapdos is really bulky, and then Sylveon's kind of bulky in the special side. Same with Keldeo and Superior. They both have some decent natural bulk to them, though I do run them in an offensive area in this match. And Andy's team is really good. We have no idea about his team right now, and I assumed he was going to lead off with the Heatran and try to set up Rock, so I actually led off with Superior. And let's just get right into the match actually, why not? Let's start this match. And he does lead off with a Heatran like I thought, and this battle is going a little bit faster than it should be just because it makes it go by faster. And I lead off with I lead off with Superior to counter the Heatran lead. I go for the taunt because I don't want the rocks to get up on my side of the field, but he actually just goes for the Earth Power, predicting me to swap out. But thankfully I stayed in, went for the taunt. So now, and he actually got a crit with that Earth Power, so that was annoying. And now I expect him to go swap it up with either the Flamethrower or some sort of Fire type move, and I go out into Keldeo. And he does go for the Heat Wave, and we eat it up, and no burn, and he doesn't get a burn, thankfully. He withdraws the Heatran now, and I decided to go with the Scald, not the Secret Power, or not Secret Power, the Secret Sword, because Scald has a chance to burn, and who just love getting burns. And he swaps out into Jet Lag the Dragonite, and we don't get a burn, unfortunately, so I decided to swap out Keldeo, go out to Zapdos. Zapdos can wall this Dragonite to no end because it is a bulky, defensively bulky Zapdos, and it can eat up any hit that this Dragonite wants to throw. E-Speed doesn't really do too much, of course. And now we can get off a safe Volt Switch if need be. I could also Toxic anything that I would like to, if I would want to go with the Toxic. And he actually switches in the Shuckle. I go for the Volt Switch, get out of there, and Shuckle's in here, and this Shuckle is probably gonna be his rocks and his sticky web setup. So I got the Superior. It is a nice setup bait. This Shuckle is a nice setup bait. We go with the Leaf Storm, and it does a big chunk of damage. We also get the special attack raise, of course, because of the contrary boost. He goes for the Toxic, which is really unfortunate because now Superior doesn't have that many turns to stay in. It puts him on a timer because Toxic is very annoying. He decides to withdraw the Shuckle, going on to Heatran. As I just go for another safe Leaf Storm because it would take out the Shuckle. It would do a decent chunk to anything that comes in except the Heatran, of course. And I carry HP Rock on this Superior, not HP Ground, which would have actually really helped out. But it's fine. At plus 4 HP, I'm actually knocking out. And I still, at this point, had no idea what item this Heatran has, of course. And I decided to go to the Keldeo. He goes for the Heat Wave. He misses the Heat Wave, which is huge. Now I can fire off just another Scald, which is really safe. He goes out into this Shuckle, sacking off the Shuckle, which is probably the best play that he could have made at this point in time. So down goes the Shuckle. And things are looking good right now. Hasn't been too much hacks just yet. And it's looking really good for us. He goes out into Dova Queen, and I decided to swap out Keldeo, save this thing around for later. I expected the Hyper Voice, so I swap out into Entei. Entei resists the Hyper Voice. It can one-shot this Sylveon with a Choice Banded Flare Blitz, but he actually goes for the Calm Mind, which is kind of surprising here. And with this Calm Mind up, most people would assume that he's going to stay in, but I decided, hey, he's going to have to go out T-Train right now. He's going to want to get that Flash Fire boost, so I'm going to pull a double, and I'm going to pull a double out into Keldeo. And he, as I expected, he does swap out into the Heatran. And now we're in a great position again. We're just exactly where we started. But he actually didn't go out to Heatran. He went out to Keldeo, which is kind of shocking because Flare Blitz, we do a lot to Keldeo. And I'm Timid Scarfed, and it also seems that he's Timid Scarf because he wins the Speed Tie and gets off his Scald as I go for the Secret Power, which does a lot more than the Scald would have done. And he decides to swap out now and go out into the Dova Queen because I guess he was expecting the Scald. That's why I stayed in with his Keldeo as he went for the Scald. And now we can fire off a Secret Power. Doesn't do too much, and Secret Power, Secret Sword, whatever. And we're just going to stay in here, go for another Secret Sword. It's really not going to do much. And here is where I decide, hey, we don't really need Keldeo for much on his team. Let's just stay in here. Let's get off a bunch of chip damage so that Entei can come in and Flare Blitz and not take as much recoil than we would have been able to take. So let's just stay in here. We're going to sack out Keldeo because Keldeo would really only be good for maybe Dragonite with Icy Wind, but at this amount of HP, I'm not even sure if we can take an Extreme Speed. And it would also be kind of good against Heatran, but honestly, we have other things to handle Heatran. We have Mega Altaria, we have Sylveon with HP Ground. We have more than enough things to handle the Heatran, as now he finally goes for the Hyper Voice, taking out Keldeo, but he also went for the Wish the turn before, and he's going to get back a lot of HP, which kind of stinks. And Entei cannot OHKO with Flare Blitz right here. It's a roll, and I didn't want to risk the roll, so I'm going to go out Serperior, get off a little bit of chip damage with the Leaf Storm, and he is going to be able to knock out Serperior with the Hyper Voice. And now we can just go out to Entei and just launch off a Flare Blitz, and that will take out this Sylveon from where it's at. And we're not gonna, actually, we're probably gonna take a pretty big chunk of recoil damage from the Flare Blitz. But if had he swapped out to Heatran here, we would have been in a horrible position because I do not carry Bulldoze on this on this Entei for Heatrans, just because I don't know, I just didn't feel like it was needed on this team. And now he goes out to the Heatran because he can Wallace. He knows that we're banded for OHKOing the Sylveon where it was at. So swap out Entei, go out to Zapdos. Zapdos can kind of eat up any hit. Also, I expected the Earth Power to come. As he does go for the Earth Power, we are immune. And now I expected him to swap out into somebody. I could have just went for the Volt Switch, but I decided to pull a double. And I pull a double out into Altaria. The reason for this was because I kind of expected maybe, I wasn't really sure who I expected. So I go out to Altaria, and he actually went for the Protect, which is kind of shocking. He runs Protect over Stealth Rocks, which is fine by me. Now we can Mega Evolve Nimbus, Mega Altaria, and we can actually, if he's timid, he has a, I think it's 15% chance to OHKO with Flash Cannon. If he's modest, it's a 75% chance to OHKO with my spread, and he gets the roll. And I really don't know which version he was, not which version, which set he was, but it gets rid of us. And now I got to Sylveon, go for the HP Ground. In hindsight, I should have went for Earthquake with Altaria because we would have known that this thing is Shuca Berry. As you can see right here in this Hidden Power Ground is going to do nothing because he's Shuca Berry. And he just eats that up, and he's going to be able to knock out Sylveon with a Flash Cannon, which really does sting because Sylveon was probably my win condition against his team because it does amazing against his entire team, but Sylveon has to go down. And now we can go out to Entei. As long as we land the Stone Edge, this Heatran's going to go down. So Entei, can you land this? And we go for the Stone Edge, and we land it, and Entei is going to go down. So that is amazing. Down goes a giant threat in Heatran. Heatran did a lot though. Heatran took out 2 Pokemon, and that is way too much. Now he goes out to the Keldeo. Stone Edge is going to do nothing, so I swap out with Entei, and I decide to go into the Zapdos. We can take it one because we know that he's Scarf, timid. We know that he's timid Scarf. We can take a Scald, and unless he gets a burn, we can take another Scald after that and just roost up. But he gets the burn, so that's really, really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. We can still probably take another Scald because the other one didn't bring us down to yellow. So we can probably take another Scald. So he goes for the Scald, and we take it with 7 HP, go for the Roost, and Roost probably wasn't the best play, but I wanted to try and stall, not really stall, but kind of stay alive a little bit longer because Zapdos is really nice, and we're going to take more damage, and this isn't looking too good for us right now. He's going to go for another Scald. Can we live it? We live with 18, and I go for the Volt Switch because it will take out Keldeo from the range that he's at right now, as it does take him out, and now I can go out into Entei, and Entei's pretty darn good right now against his team. All he has left right now is the Breloom and the Dragonite, I believe. So let's see who he's going to go into. We can Stone Edge, or we can go for the Iron Head. He goes out to Mushy Peas. My only chance right now is to get a flinch with his Iron Head. We go for the Iron Head, And we get the flinch, and we flinch the Breloom. Now he can go for a Mach Punch. It's not going to do enough. Had he gone for Mach Punch, double Mach Punches, that probably would have been his best play, and I would have taken out Entei, and he would have won. We go for another Iron Head, take out the Breloom. Now all he has left is the Dragonite, and I'm banded, so I need to swap out into Zapdos, and he's just going to go for the Dragon Claw as I swap out into Zapdos. Had he gone for the Outrage, probably would have been a lot closer. He goes for the Dragon Claw. It's going to knock out Zapdos, and now Entei needs to land the Stone Edge if we want to win this. So we're going to go out to Entei. We have one shot. He's going to go for the Extreme Speed, of course, to try getting maybe a crit, maybe getting a high roll and knocking out Entei. He goes for the E-Speed. Can we live it? Can we live it? We live it. We get the Stone Edge off. We land the Stone Edge, and down goes the Dragonite, and we get a win. Such a close game. There was actually a ton of hacks during that match, but it's fine. He got a miss. He got burns. It was just crazy hacks, and it was such an amazing battle. Thank you so much for the battle, Dench. We actually had this battle a while ago, so thank you so much for the battle. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like rating down below. Also, let me know down in the comment section what you thought about this battle, what I could have done better, what I could have done, I don't know, what I could have done better, I guess, really. It was a really good match, in my opinion, really competitive, which I love. I absolutely love competitive battles, and this was definitely one of them. So please leave a like rating down below if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. That is it. Have a nice trip.